Hey YouTube, this is TCA Gaming and I'm excited to bring to you this Detective Pikachu pack opening in this video. Before we get started, I wanted to ask all of you, how many Detective Pikachu cards do you think we'll pull out of 36 Detective Pikachu booster packs? So that's right, you can pull the Detective Pikachu from the booster pack. As you see in the background, there is a Detective Pikachu promo, and if it were me guessing, which I don't know for sure, it may have already been announced, but I would guess that you'll probably get some kind of card similar to that from the movie theater. But we're going to jump right into the movie. Be thinking on the Detective Pikachu and how many you think we're going to pull out of the packs. And I want you to post it down in the comments before we actually open up the packs. Try not to look at other people's. I'm going to guess that we're going to pull 4 Detective Pikachus out of the booster packs, and then of course we're always looking for these chase cards out of these packs. We don't know as of this moment when I'm recording this video if there's anything really cool other than the 18 cards that are in the packs. We do know of a few cards, like there should be a Charizard in somewhere in hopefully in these 36 packs, and there should be a Mewtwo, but we're going to look at it and see what we have. I haven't actually looked to wait a minute. We have a code card. So I was getting ready to say I haven't looked up too much information on these packs. I had no idea that there was a code card that come inside of the booster packs. In fact, let's look at that first and see what it says. So this actually says it's for a Detective Pikachu 4-card booster. So that's a really nice surprise. I just figured that it was going to be 4 cards inside. I didn't actually think that you could get a booster pack code card. So that's great. So there's a code card for somebody that should unlock on April 5th. 2019, if unless you're watching this video after that date. So first off, we're going to start off with a Lickitung, 100 HP, has a continuous lick attack, and it says flip a coin until you get tails. This attack does 20 damage for each heads. So if you noticed, it is hollow. So I don't know if all the cards are going to be hollow or if it's just the first one, but it says it's a common. Next up, we have a Psyduck that is also common, 80 HP, 10 damage. The attack really isn't that great. Next up, Morlul. That's an interesting choice. I don't know why that one would be in there. Maybe he's got some kind of cool role in the movie. And then our rare is Slacking at 180 HP, and its attack is Pitch. Your opponent switches their active Pokemon with one of their bench Pokemon for 150 damage. That's actually pretty decent, even though it is stage 2, so it makes it a little tough to get to that evolution. That's pretty good. That's not bad at all. Colorless can go in any deck. So who knows? Maybe that card will see some play. So far we have 0 Mewtwo's, 0 Charizard, and then 0 Detective Pikachu. So there's a code. I'm going to keep those. They will be available for sale on my website, so if you want to look down in the description, that will send you there. I do sell codes, and they are instant delivery. Basically instant anyways, as soon as you pay. There's a Magikarp. And then we have our first Mewtwo. So let's look at this. So far, every card has been hollow from all the packs. Got a really cool artwork. I've heard good and bad about him having no hair, but you know what? It's Mewtwo. He's not supposed to have hair. There's 130 HP. Psyjack, 30 damage. Choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks. This Pokemon can't, or that Pokemon can't use that attack during your opponent's next turn. So it's kind of like an amnesia. Then we have Break Burn for 130 damage. Discard 2 psychic energy from this Pokemon. Classic kind of Mewtwo attack where it hits you for hard for 3 energy, then you discard some energy. But if you look carefully at the bottom, that the star is silver. It's not like a regular black star like the Slacking was. So that's pretty cool. So we have 1 Mewtwo. Next up, let's see what we have here. We have another Lickitung, have another Psyduck, have another Morlul, and then we have Ludicolo. I've heard a lot of people say they like the artwork on this card. 140 damage, regular black star, the ability Table Service. Once during your turn, you may heal 30 damage from one of your Pokemon, then punch and run. Switch this Pokemon with one of your bench for 70 damage. It's not that great. Maybe it's pretty cool in the movie though. Next pack, let's see what we have here. Have another Jigglypuff, which I kind of skipped over the attack before. It's a Healing Melody. Heal 10 damage from each of your Pokemon. Not that great. You got Psyduck again, another Magikarp, and then we have Machamp. Cross Chop, flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 60 more damage. It's already doing 80. So it can do up to 140 damage for 2 energies. Talk about a wallop. And then Directing Traffic. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck and then put them back in any order. Probably not an attack that'll get used very much, especially on a stage 2 card. Next pack. And the reason I'm not doing like 100 packs in this video is because the set is so limited. There's only 18 cards. So after like 30 or 40 packs, I'm sure we would have seen everything and it's going to start getting really repetitive. So I'm doing 36 packs, a regular booster box. There's our first Bulbasaur. Find a friend, search your deck for a grass Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. Then we have another Jigglypuff. And then we have our first Charizard. So 180 HP. It is a Silver Star rare, if you can see that flash. Its attack is Slash for 70 damage, and then Wild Tackle for 180, but he does 50 to himself. Again, that's a classic kind of Charizard move, really high attack. Not that high of energy. I mean, it's 4 energy, but 3 of them are colors, but he does 50 damage to himself, so it really draws away from being able to use him in a deck. From what I can tell, the quality of these cards is kind of similar to what Dragon Majesty was. Not as good as Team Up, but they do have some issues around the edges. So we have another Bulbasaur, Lickitung, Snubbull, and then we have our first Mr. Mime. His ability, Pantomime. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench during your turn, you may switch one of your face-down prize cards with the top card of your deck. So that's okay. And then you got Juggling, flip 4 cards, or flip 4 coins. This attack does 20 damage for each heads. So the good thing about that ability is, I mean, it's just an extra thing that you can do. Stick one in your deck if you have, you know, a card that you know is in your prizes and you got to get it out. You know, you might have a chance of pulling it and then switching it. I mean, you're not actually going to draw it. You're just going to switch it out. So we do start off again with another Bulbasaur. We've got Jigglypuff. Have our first Charmander. So take a look at that one. Got someone's legs in there. Wonder what kind of shoes he has. Anybody tell? And then we have our first Detective Pikachu. So our count is up to 1. 90 HP, that's not bad for a Pikachu. But the attack is Scout. Your opponent reveals their hand. And that's kind of pointless. And then you have Surprise Attack. Flip a coin. If tails, this attack does nothing for 80 damage. So it's definitely not going to be ran in decks as an attacker or anything like that. But it does look cool, and it's got a different artwork than the promo Detective Pikachu. So we have one of those. We have Charmander. We have Lickitung. We have Psyduck. And then we have another Slacking. For those of you who did not know, down in my description I'll always put a few key links like to my eBay store, my email, and then I'll also throw in a few items like people are always asking me about PSA graded sleeves, and so I've got a link for that down in the description as well. And then maybe to my store or a few other things like this video should have a link to my store and where you should be able to find these Detective Pikachu cards, maybe even the packs for sale. Alright, next pack. We have Bulbasaur, Jigglypuff, Charmander, and then another Machamp. I think there's still a few cards left in the set that we haven't seen. I'm hoping that there's some chase cards that are really hard to pull, but you never know. Pokemon could throw something in there. So, wow, there's a second Mewtwo. I really like that artwork. It was like with Dragon Majesty, it was like 1,000 packs it took you to get to an Ultra Necrozma Gold. But they already had GXs and Full Arts, and we knew that they had those. With Detective Pikachu, we don't know yet. We don't know if there's anything. We do know that there's 18 cards in the set, and those 18 cards are not anything special or not any like ultra rare type card. Here we have a Ditto, which again, it has a Silver Star, so that's Mewtwo, Ditto, and the Charizard. I can't remember if there's any others. I don't think we've seen all 18 cards yet. So let's look at the attack of Ditto. Copy anything. Choose one of your opponent's Pokemon's attacks and use it as this attack. If this Pokemon doesn't have the necessary energy to use that attack, this attack does nothing. So again, that's a classic Ditto type move, but it's still pretty cool. Stick it in a deck. If you had like Rainbow Energies or Blend Energies or just something like that, I mean, you might be able to pull off something really cool with just smacking a Ditto down, because there are some strong Pokemon out there that have to evolve, but then they have really low energy attacks, and Ditto could just ruin that for your opponent. Got Bulbasaur, Lickitung, and then we have a third Mewtwo. Man, I will take Mewtwo and Charizard pulls all day long. And guys, if you see anything that's like miscut or square cut or is a print line or an ink smear that I've missed, comment that below in the description. I promise I'll read your comments and I'll try to respond to them. But that kind of stuff I really like. Okay, so we have a new card here. We've got the Greninja. Let's check out its attacks and its ability. So its ability is Evasion Jutsu. If any damage is done to this Pokemon by attacks, flip a coin. If heads, prevent that damage. So that's kind of like the Heracross from Burning Shadows. Next up, we have Furious Shurikens. This attack does 50 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. So that's not bad, especially for 2 energy. You just got to get that Greninja out there. Boy, I bet a lot of people are wishing the Breakpoint Frogadier was still in play. That one you could just stick right on your bench and use water duplicates. You got 3 of them. Alright, so we have another Charizard. The more of these that I can pull, the better, because I'm going to be sending these off to PSA. That artwork, I can appreciate it. I wish Charizard was a little darker, maybe had like some black contrast in there with him, but overall spot on. I'm glad they stuck a Charizard in the set. It would be lacking without one. How could you make a Detective Pikachu movie without Charizard anyways? We have another Charmander with that dude's legs in the background. And then we have an Arcanine. Really cool, guys. So let's read over his attacks and his ability. His ability, Security Guard. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, all your Pokemon take 30 less damage from your opponent's attacks. Then you've got Sharp Fang for 90. That ability would be really useful against people who are trying to use the Tapu Koko Flying Flip maneuver, where they hit everything for 20 damage, because that would just nullify that completely out and it'd be useless. And it could work against cards like the Necrozma GX, who hits the bit. Man, another Mewtwo GX, right on. Or not a Mewtwo GX. I wish it was a Mewtwo GX, but just a regular Mewtwo. That is right on. But the Necrozma GX from Burning Shadows, of course, it's for 3 colorless energy. It hits all of your opponent's bench Pokemon that are GXs or EXs for 100 damage. I mean, that's pretty devastating. Especially if you have something like, if you could still play the Aegislash from Breakpoint, and then that thing doubles all of the damage counters on every one of your opponent's Pokemon. I mean, you could have game over in just 2 turns. But if you hit it with the Necrozma and you come into Flying Flip, that Arcanine could come in very handy in reducing damage. But it's only got 120 HP, and it has to be the active Pokemon, so it's not really a practical card to come out and play. For me, if I was going to protect my bench, I'd throw out something like the Shining Arceus, or I think there's a few other cards. There's a newer card that does it too, that helps protect your bench, and then there's another one that was doing it a little better. Maybe it was Machoke from Guardians Rising. I can't quite remember. So it looks like we're over halfway through here. I think we've seen almost every card, but we've only seen one Detective Pikachu so far. One. I think I don't even remember what my guess was. What was it, 4 or 5? I think it was 5. Then we have a Ludicolo. And it wasn't even one of those white star rares. I mean, there was Greninja, Ditto, Mewtwo, and Charizard. Those were the 4 that I can remember that had that silver star in the bottom left hand corner, which you would think would be more rare. Well, speaking of Detective Pikachu, we have our second one right here. Looks like he's looking at a crystallized Starmie, if I'm looking at it right. I think Staryu only had 5 of the points, and then Starmie, I can't remember, maybe it has 6. But I think it has more. Maybe it's 5, and then it has 4 that go in between those 5, so 9. Now I'm going to have to go count. Maybe that'll be a question in my next Pokemon quiz, or Pokecard quiz. So I want to thank all of you who are tuning in to this video. The premieres have been really cool, chatting it up with y'all. I hope you continue watching those, and I'll try to be there to talk about anything as we're opening it. If I miss your question, I am so sorry. I can only type it so fast, but I will get to it if you just keep posting it. I promise you, it won't be annoying. You can comment the same question 3 times if I miss it, over and over again. Just keep posting it. and eventually I will answer the question. Of course, you can always email me. Like I said, that's in my description at the bottom. And for those of you who have looked at the description, you might see that I'm offering out a new service, but I'm not going to open that can of worms in this video, but you're more than welcome to look at the description and read into it yourself. I think that could be an exciting new turn for our channel in bringing you content that seems to be most liked by everyone on here. Man, that Mewtwo, I really wasn't expecting it to be pulled this good in these 36 packs. So we're down to what looks like maybe 6 packs after this one. Got another Mr. Mime. So far only 2 Detective Pikachus. I'm going to have to pull like 3 in a row. There we have a Ludicolo. I wonder what they're going to give out with the movie. It's probably already been announced, and I've missed it somewhere because I don't keep up with Pokebeach as much as I used to, which is like the Pokemon news channel. Alright, so we have 3 Detective Pikachus. Wow, so we're getting close to the end of the video, and like clockwork, my magical clock from Pokemon Center, New York goes off. It'll be kind of nice background music while we open up these last few packs. Alright, maybe we'll pull one more. Slacking. Alright, last pack. Let's see what we get. Maybe it'll be just a pack full of shiny, secret rare Pikachus. Alright, well, we know that's not going to happen. And the last one is slacking. So it looks like if you answered 4 Detective Pikachus, you got it right. So I appreciate all of you for taking the time to tune in to watch this video. Please don't forget to, 1, subscribe and like the video, or subscribe to my channel, like the video. And I appreciate all the comments and all of you who participated in the question for how many Detective Pikachus there are. Be on the lookout for videos for the Charizard GX, if you can see that, and then also the Detective Pikachu case files that I plan to open up, where I'm going to open up more of these Detective Pikachu packs, as well as whatever else comes inside of those. Thanks.